Welcome to another episode of
Business Girls.
She threw in the girls, Business Girls. Because we got another guest host with us in the house today at the Business Bros Podcast Studio. And who is with us today? That's your call.
Drum roll, everyone.
Drum roll.
Jenny from the block.
Whoa,
I like it.
I like that. Jenny from the block. So, Jenny, how did we meet? You know how we met? Well, I know the first time we met, how we met.
Open house.
I bombarded you.
Yes.
I walked in on a Facebook
Me.
Live and said, "What's up, Jenny?"
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a good way to do it.
It
Yeah.
took me a second to actually take it in. It's like, wait, who is he?
Wait, who is he? What is he doing? Why are you on live? But hey, here's the house.
Who is this guy? Why is he stalking me right now?
Right? Well, our actual introduction came because you've been working with one of my boys, Jose Valencia.
Yes.
Right? So shout out to Jose. Absolutely.
Another reference from Jose. Man, he is hooking us up.
Jose's on point,
He's
dude.
killing it.
He
Yeah.
is. I mean, dude, he's rocking it. And he's a nice guy. I mean, he's always doing what he says he's going to do.
Exactly.
So, anyways, I saw him doing a couple different open houses with you.
Yes.
And I put you on the spot and I said,
He
hey.
started just like you. He just popped in.
Yeah?
Just like that. With a live video.
Nice.
Hi.
Wait, hang on. So you walked into her open house and you had your live video and you were just...
Yeah, just like
Oh,
that.
nice.
Literally. So I had some time to kill and she was in Bonita. And since I was at East Lake, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go stop by. So I started my live when I was outside and I was like, okay, look, Jennifer's holding this open house. I want to get her on the podcast. So I'm going to surprise her. And it's on the live video. I'm like, I'm going to surprise her. I'm going to walk in here and HGTV style and see what's up.
Yeah.
Nice. So just curious, what's the status on that house?
It was not our listing.
Oh, okay.
She was holding it open.
Yes.
Nice.
I'm not sure. No.
Generating leads.
Yes, exactly.
Generating
in
leads.
Bonita, the heart of Bonita.
It was a nice place too.
Yeah, it was very nice. I wish I could live there, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
dude.
that's one of the strategies that we talk about for generating leads is hosting an open house like that. So everybody that you talk to there, you followed up with them, and you know you got all those names and numbers.
That's actually the second open house I do in Bonita because I want to kind of focus on the area. So.
You're cultivating a market, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You're
Are
farming
you from
it.
the area?
I'm from West Chula Vista, but it's a place I would like to live.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, I do like Bonita. Bonita is one of those places where like the homes aren't all cookie cutter like they are in East Lake, but it's still a nice area. It still has that community feel. You get to know your neighbors.
You get more land.
It's definitely got larger lots. You know, it's definitely a nice area to be in. So if and the price points are nice if you're a real estate agent.
Yes.
Right. So the fact that you're cultivating that market and farming that similar area so that, you know, the local people see exactly who you are. They get to know you.
Yeah.
They get to become familiar with you. And I mean, as that open house was closing, when we were leaving, you were actually on your way to go show that client that walked in, a potential client anyways, another place that was in your area.
Yeah, it was actually a minute away, and I've done an open house previously on that house
So
too.
perfect. So you already familiar with it anyways. So yeah, see, I mean, and that's really what it comes down to when you're out there generating leads. So tell me your story before we start getting into lead generation and open houses. How did you decide to get into real estate?
Well,
It all started one day when I was born.
I'm a natural.
Probably.
No, I actually, well, I was going to college. I didn't really want to be in college. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I stopped going to college, and then I knew I wanted to work in real estate. I knew that. I had applied for a real estate company. I don't remember what the company is. It's not that big, as you can tell, because I can't remember. But it was actually my worst interview ever. And I always have really good interviews. It was my worst interview ever when I was applying for the front desk position. And then I saw an ad on Craigslist for Keller Williams for the receptionist. DFI, as Keller Williams, everyone knows. And I got the job. Actually, no. Okay, I didn't get the job. They went with another girl, and I cried.
You're like, this is the one I actually wanted.
I swear, I cried for like 2 days straight. I was just so bummed out, you know, because I don't know why. I just wanted that job so bad. I knew that I wanted to work in real estate. I did not know anything. My family, all of my family, aunts, uncles, they've never owned any houses, always been renters.
So you literally started from the bottom.
Mm-hmm, yeah, so I cried forever, and it turns out that like about 5 months later, the MCA, the Market Center Administrator, gave me a call. She called me and she's like, hey, we kept your resume around and we would like to know if you're still interested in the position. And I was like, of course. As soon as I got off that phone call, I started crying.
Again. So, point of the story, Keller Williams makes you cry.
Yes.
That's true, right? Tears of sadness and tears of joy, but it makes you cry nonetheless.
Yeah. So I was about in the front desk for about a year. I loved it. I love everyone in that office. And just seeing how the industry was and everything, I got interested in it. Mm-hmm. And I thought, why not?
Why not get my license?
Yeah. So I started doing the school and everything, and I got my real estate license, and I love it.
Dude, that's really good. That's a good start. I mean, I'm sure being in that front office was, invaluable. You got to meet a lot of different agents, probably the really good ones, and you got to meet the ones that didn't do so good. Mm-hmm. So you got to see what was working and also what was not working.
Yeah, and that's so funny because our title rep there, he would always come and talk to me at the front desk, and he would always tell me, pay attention to every single agent. Pay attention to how they greet their clients, how they work, how they're everything. Just pay attention to them, really observe them. And that actually helps so much because I can see the way that different agents greeted their clients, who came into the office, who didn't, who was here from the very start of the morning, everything. And I pay attention to that, and that kind of helps my business, So
yeah, because you know what you want to do with it, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna drill down a little bit on like when you first got started going to college, right? Okay. I mean, because I teach part-time at Eastlake High, so I told you that, right?
Yeah.
And so I got a lot of seniors that they don't really know what they're gonna do, and they're thinking, I'm gonna go to Southwestern or Grossmont or something like that, right? A junior college, but they don't really know what they want to do. And the fact that you knew you wanted to be in real estate is already one up. Yeah, because I wanted to live somewhere, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I like living where they have 4 walls or roof and like heat and air conditioning.
And seeing those, the shows that they have on,
like the HGTV.
Yeah, that the real estate agents are taking people and the families and stuff. That was very interesting to watch.
Well, you're social, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Since I met you, you're bubbly, you're perky, you're happy. So, I mean, that's kind of a good thing good personality traits to have when you're in real estate. The thing that you have to follow it up with is, are you willing to work?
Yes, exactly.
Right? Because that's really what you can be the best personality in the world, but if you're not willing to work, you're going to struggle in this industry.
Yeah.
Well, I think that was the point that she was making too, with the people that she was getting in contact with, and the people that she was following over there at Keller Williams.
Yeah.
So what did you learn from that?
Yeah, what did you learn from that? Tell me some pearls of wisdom, like that you think you've taken from somebody, you learned from somebody,
from different agents that I observed. Well, let's see. Well, my biggest one was team hands-on. Mm-hmm. I've always told Joe specifically, shout out to Joe Ordinario, I would always pay attention to how he managed his time. So every time he has his schedule from whatever time starting till it ends. And it was funny because he would come and have like a quick conversation with me at the front desk, or if I saw him on the way to the kitchen or whatever it was, I would start talking to him, and then he would be like, okay, I got 3 more minutes, hurry up.
Yeah.
And I didn't take that personally. It was actually like, I really looked up to that. I was like, wow, you're really managing your time and wisely,
right.
Like he has stuff to do. He has things to get to, so I always really looked up to that. And then the different ways that everybody just worked was very interesting.
No, that's really good. I mean, the scheduling, time blocking is absolutely important, because look, people get into real estate. I mean, you got into real estate because you wanted to, right? But there are other people who come from other industries, who come from having a 9-to-5 job and they want to get out of that rut of working 9 to 5 and only getting 2 weeks of vacation and having to clock in and clock out and a boss telling them what to do. They hate that. And so they want to get out and they think real estate is the way out. But what they find out is that in real estate, there's nobody telling you when to clock in and when to clock out. There's nobody telling you what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. And because there's nobody telling them, they do nothing, or they do busy work that's not really dollar productive work. And, you know, having that schedule is crucial. It's vital, you know, and so what does your schedule look like now on a regular basis?
So I'm with the AVER team. So we do have a very, very strict schedule. We get to the office at 7:30. Well, at least I do. My team leader gets there a little earlier. We start script practicing and affirmations in the morning for 30 minutes. And then we start calling right at 8. So we'll do that. If it's not that, we'll start a little later. We're checking our emails really quick. You know, whatever.
Can you tell me a little bit about those affirmations?
Yeah, affirmations. Well, we have our vision boards and then like some affirmations on our vision board and stuff. And then we go over our affirmations out loud together. So I'll go first and then he'll go second. And it really helps because it sets you in the mood, you know? So I don't know. I think it really helps, especially with Keller Williams, the bold laws. That's all of his affirmations. So it's a long list of bold laws and it just really helps to start off your day like that.
I want to know more. So
what they look like?
I'm digging into these affirmations and these bold laws. Talk about it.
Yeah. So like, well, for example, I don't know. One of mine would be something wonderful is going to happen today. You know, one of those. Or if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. You know, like that.
This.
Or let's see. I'm trying to think of top of my mind.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's good.
It's not 7:30, so it's hard to think about. Right?
This is the time I'm having dinner.
No, it's totally good. It's interesting to me because I've been listening to a lot of Abraham Hicks lately, which is a lot of the same type of stuff where you have these affirmations, you have these things that you're constantly telling yourself, you know, the universe is working in my favor, you know, and just thinking on one good thought and holding on to that one good thought. And you're absolutely right that it really does put you in a good mindset. Something that I've found personally, especially lately, is that if there's something going on in my life where I'm having trouble getting into that positive mindset, something that I've been using a lot of lately is meditation. And meditation is you just sit there and you expel every thought except for the sound of your breath, and it gives you a nice reset so that those affirmations can really kick in.
I've actually started the year off meditating now. That was never a thing I did.
Ditto.
But me and my boyfriend decided to like implement that every single day. So we do it whether it's in between the day or in the nighttime, so twice a day. And it actually really, it's so nice. It's so nice.
It realigns you, right? James, what were you talking about the other day where you were going through, I mean, because if you don't know, James is in insurance, right? And we do a lot of insurance training. So a new agent will come on. He does a lot of the training and a lot of the support. So he's putting out fires all day, right? So it's kind of stressful to be putting out fires all day. And so he was having one of those rough ones, and you decided you like stopped everything.
No, I did. I just exactly what I'm talking about, where things really felt overwhelming. I just took a walk down to the beach and I sat on a rock, and for 15 minutes I just didn't think about anything. And when I came out of my meditation, I decided to begin the momentum with good thoughts, with happy thoughts. And the first thing that came to my head was my girl Katie, my dog Katie, coming up and licking my face. And so I held on to that thought of Katie giving me the loves.
A man's best friend.
Man's best friend, for sure. And, you know, I thought about hugging Katie and giving her rubs and, you know, running with her and playing with her and all these. And so that started my momentum of good thoughts, and I just followed it up with, you know, a bunch of other things. So it's just cool to hear that you guys actually do that at Keller Williams in the morning every day. It's amazing to me.
It just gets you going, you know?
Yeah.
And the script practice as well, because sometimes if you just hit the phones or whatever it is that you're going to start your day with,
you're
kind of rusty. Yeah. Like you don't really got it going. So once we script practice in the morning, do our affirmations, then we're like pumped up and we put some music, you know? And then that's what happens next is we start cold calling for the day. And then, we have a minimum of 20 contacts a day. So that's what we're aiming to hit.
And how do you guys define a contact? Because there's a lot of ways to define a contact. So I know you got to kind of drill down and be specific. Yeah. So how do you guys define your contact?
Yeah. So what we would define a contact is if we ask for the business. We asked if they know anyone who might be looking to buy or sell a home, and themselves.
So in other words, you put yourself in a position to hear no.
Yeah. And
right?
Sometimes it's a yes.
Yeah, sometimes it's a yes. But I mean, that's important because like I said, we talk to a lot of different agents. I mean, you see the interview board over there. I mean, we have a lot of people that we talk to. Some people who've been in the game for a long time. Mm-hmm. Some people who are new in the game. Mm-hmm. And sometimes when we talk to the people who are new in the game, I don't think, because they're new, they don't quite understand what a contact is. It could, they're like, okay, well, I dialed 20 numbers. Well, that's not the same thing as a contact. Look, I left, 20 voicemails. Well, that's quite not the same thing as a contact. Or or I sent 20 emails. That's not quite a contact.
Even that we don't define as a contact unless we asked for the business.
So in other words, you're at risk though, right? You're vulnerable at that point. Mm-hmm. They might say no. You might have somebody curse at you, right? I mean,
which happens even through text message. They won't answer and they'll text me back saying
whatever else stuff, right? but that's the whole point, is you put yourself in a position to hear no, but by doing so at least 20 times a day, you're also in a position to hear yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And that's where, everything turns around for you. That's where production happens. That's where the transactions happen. That's where the being of service to others happen. And that's what I wanted to hear from you guys. Your goal of 20 contacts is a legit 20 times I am in a position to hear no. I'm either asking for business or I'm asking for a referral.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Exactly.
Awesome.
Yes.
What happens next? I love your day so far. And it's only what? And we're only at 9 o'clock?
Yeah.
See? That's awesome.
Sometimes we do make the 20 contacts in 1 hour.
Yeah.
And then there's other days, depending on the zip code. I feel that depending on the zip code, more people will answer and less people will answer.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that also has to do with whether you're in a more affluent area where there's somebody home, right? Or in a less affluent area where those people are at work. Yeah. So you have a different time block for the different zip codes. You're absolutely right. Mm-hmm. So it is going to take a little bit longer, but I love the fact that you actually define it. Okay, take me past 9 o'clock. What happens?
Okay, so after that, we go to lunch. Mm-hmm. So we're done cold calling. If we finish with that, we are responding to our emails, getting back to our clients, sending them properties, whatever it is, etc. And
so
then
you have a follow-up section.
Yes.
Okay, so after the cold calling.
So after the cold calling, we're going to lunch. We take about an hour lunch, and then we come back and do the follow-up. And then after we're done with our following up, we go door knocking.
Okay, so let me stop you on the follow-up, because follow-up is, to me, the most vital part of your business, right? The lead generation is important, but the follow-up is where the money's actually made, right?
Yeah, that was a big topic of conversation with Jason today, too.
Yeah, absolutely, because it's true, right? I mean, okay, good, you got him on the phone one time, then what?
Yeah,
it's not like you're going to buy or sell their home on that first phone call. You actually have to keep talking to them. Yeah. So what does it look like once you get a lead? What happens to that lead? Where does it go? How do you classify it?
On our CRM.
Okay.
And on there we have how we got the lead, whether it's open house, cold call, sphere, your sphere of influence. So it has that. It has our notes. What do we talk about? Because easily you can forget.
Oh yeah, you're doing
who this person is.
Doing 20 contacts. That means you've probably done 60 calls, easy,
or more.
Or more,
like 400.
Yeah, so that's a lot of people you've talked to. There's no way you're gonna remember everything.
Yeah, so we have our notes in there. We have exactly when we're supposed to follow up, depending on what we talked about. You know, I'm not ready 6 months. Okay, I'll follow up in 2 months, 3 months.
So you kind of cut it, right? They're like, I'm gonna buy in June, so you hit them up in February.
Yeah. Because what are you gonna bug them for right now? You know. So we follow up maybe in 2 months, whatever the scenario is. So yeah, we have all of our notes. It has the tasks. It reminds us of when we're supposed to be following up, and then sometimes it has a time because some people don't get out of work till 4:30, 5 o'clock. You know. So we don't want to call them when they're at work.
Yeah, it's a pointless call.
They were not going to answer.
Right.
So we have the tasks on there, our notes, and then it just depends if I'm just following up to see if they're ready, if they're if I'm sending them properties, you know.
So part of the after you've made your phone calls is actually updating your database.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're not directly in your database as you're making your calls. You're taking some notes and then you're updating it afterwards.
Yeah. Well, I like to stop my calling and do it right away because I tend to forget. Yes. And then I'll forget like a little bit of it, you know.
Maybe a little detail.
A little detail of it that I didn't write down. So I like to do it right away and then get back on the calls.
So then, So then we got follow-up, right? And what's your intention when you're following up with these people? What's the goal?
Well, the goal is to get them to work with me.
Right. In other words, to set an appointment, right?
Yeah, set an appointment, of course. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got to dig a little deeper because I got to get agents to say it every once in a while. And the goal is to set the appointment.
Yes, and that's another standard that we have. Well, at least for me, for me, it would be one appointment a week for right now, and then obviously the goal is to get more.
Right.
In the future, yeah.
If you get more than one in a week, you're winning.
Yeah, then yes, of course, yeah. And especially because we've done the numbers of okay, what do I want to make this year? Okay, how many appointments that require a week, and then
wait, you set your goals and work them backwards? That's amazing.
Yeah, so we have our year goal already, and then okay, so how many appointments do you need a week?
What does that mean a month? What does that mean a week?
Exactly.
What does that mean number of calls per day? How many appointments do I need to set up? And there you go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's a little bit of math. People don't like math, but you need it just a little bit. You need to be able to divide, you know, and it's okay to use a calculator.
Yeah, that's
right?
Okay.
But you can work backwards.
I mean, I had help doing it, so I didn't have to do it all by myself.
So I'm sure you guys just finished up business planning for this year.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And we started in December to
you better.
2019.
Yeah. Absolutely, because things slow up in December, so you use that time. Right?
Exactly.
Awesome. So you're setting your appointments, you're following up. So we're into what, around 1 o'clock? 2 o'clock?
And then we go door knocking.
Oh.
Door knocking.
So you put yourself in a position to hear no on the phone.
And in
That was the quota. And then you put yourself in a position to hear no in person. So you've actually made yourself uncomfortable because people, you know, door knocking and picking up the phone is uncomfortable. You've made yourself uncomfortable now in a daily basis for a good 2 to 3 hours. That's the real work. You hear that, real estate agents? You really only have to work the actual hard work for like 2 to 3 hours a day. And you're going to make it.
Yeah. Honestly, they told me get 20 contacts a day. I could have just done the calls for 2 hours and then my day's done. Yeah. But we don't stop there. You know, we keep going. There. Yeah, we're going to keep going. If we could do more, the better.
Okay, so you're out there door knocking. I'm sure you guys practice scripts and you're gathering data. Right? So you want to get to know your community. Yeah. And how do you pick your area that you're going to door knock?
It all depends. If we just sold a property near that neighborhood, we'll go door knocking for just solds. If we just listed, we'll go door knocking for just listed. If we're having an open house, we're door knocking for open house. So it just depends on the scenario.
Oh, so you door knock with intent.
Yes, of
you
course.
Actually have a strategy in place. You don't just go door knock anything.
Give them something.
Yeah. Oh, you're providing value to the people that you door knock to. I know I'm being sarcastic, but I mean, it's the truth, right? Because again, we want to make sure that we're providing our listeners with value, and it's important, right? Because to you, it's just what you do. Right? This is your system. This is what you do on a daily basis.
Honestly, what I have found is that you get rejected more when you're just going there without an intention.
Yes.
Versus, hey, I'm here to invite you to our open house. Okay, thank you. Wow, thank you for stopping by and inviting me. Okay, do you know anybody who, you know?
Yeah, you know anybody who might be interested in buying or selling a property?
Exactly.
And they're still going to be like, oh, no, not yet. But every once in a while, you're going to get it. Yes. Actually, my sister's actually thinking about moving to the neighborhood. Cool. Look at that. A lead because I put myself out there. No, I mean, dude, right now, by the way, just to let you know, because I know you were nervous about coming on the show. Dude, you've been a gem. You've been a gem. Oh, we can tell them. Look, here's the thing. Look, you got to make yourself a little uncomfortable, right? You got to go out of your shell a little bit.
And vulnerable.
And vulnerable. And you have been doing that every single day, apparently, for 20 contacts and door knocking, right? So you've already been doing that. So when I invited you to the podcast, you kind of chickened a little bit.
I
had
know.
to push you a little, but you're doing
There was
awesome.
a lot of rescheduling.
Yeah, a little rescheduling, but that was kind of my fault. To be fair, it was close to Christmas.
Yeah, I
Right,
know. It
so,
was.
you know,
it was like that same week. I
Yeah,
think.
so we were like, okay, I understand. So we pushed it back a little
and
bit.
then New Year's was happening too.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of happens. We honestly, we
those
had
holidays.
a good 2 weeks of we didn't have anybody on the show because, I mean, it's hard. How do you schedule that, you know? So, but finally got you on here, and I just wanted to give you a shout out real quick to you. You're rocking it, kid. You're rocking it. All right, so you finish door knocking, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so then what?
We come back to the office and we just put in all of our leads that we got door knocking into our CRM, and we finish our day. I mean, unless there's more to do, you know, personally with your follow-up.
Whether it's your appointment you have to go on,
Yeah.
or you're actually hosting an open house or something.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. So, because mostly all of the appointments happen throughout that time, you know, 5 o'clock, 5:30.
When they get out of work.
Yeah.
When the clients get out of work, right?
At their time. So, after that, our day's done. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
See?
it was a long day.
But it's a long day, but it's a scheduled day. And here's the thing. Like, when you talk to people on a regular basis and you ask them about their prime, right? When they saw themselves as the most successful, or even if you listen to like the tias and the tios and the grandpas, and they talk about the good old days, they always tend to go back to high school and college, right? And the reason for that is because that's when they had the most structure. They knew when they were waking up, they knew what happened in first period, they knew what happened in fourth period, they knew what happened on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? They knew exactly what was going on, and so they were in their prime. But what about after that? They don't have a schedule. Nobody's telling them what to do. You feel accomplished. You feel productive because you stick to a schedule, because you know what you're doing every single day.
Yeah.
Because when you get up in the morning, you know exactly what you're going to call, who you're going to call, what you're going to do, what your goal is, and how you're going to get there.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's the true power of being part of a good team. In my opinion, you have those accountability partners. So what's it like? How did you decide I'm going to be on this team? Because you're a Keller Williams. There's a lot of different agents you could work with. There's a lot of different teams you could work with. So I'm sure you were thinking, okay, which one am I going to join? Who am I going to talk to?
I know.
What tree am I going to bark up?
And there was a lot of people trying to get me to join their teams, you know, but I was like, no, like, I really have to think about this, you know, this is your business, you know. And it's not like you can just hop around and be like, okay, I'm not going to be on this team anymore. I'm going to join this team, you know, or something.
Yeah, your data's kind of caught up in their CRM, and if you leave, you kind of have to start over.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
How did you decide? What were you looking for in a team?
Well, I definitely did want to work with somebody that I was going to be comfortable with, you know, and that was going to have the same morals and values as me. And I did a lot of observing, you know, I was working at the front desk at Keller Williams. I didn't really know any other teams outside of our own office, so I didn't take the time to, you know, think of other teams, but just in our office in general. And I did my observing and how the way everybody worked, and I realized that the way that Eduardo and Angie they were very family oriented, you know, they had a lot of events for their clients. And I like that. I like to really go out of just business, you know, like really do more for your clients and do like events and client appreciation, you know?
mean be a friend?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Yes. Stay in contact, you know, you're doing the biggest purchase of their life with them. So, and I noticed that about them. I noticed their schedule, the way it looked, and I really wanted to join somebody who was going to mentor me. You know, I didn't just want to join and not get any coaching, you know, because, you know, they're taking a cut out of your commission, so you need something too, you know? And
it's got to be a give and take here.
Coaching, right. So I wanted to have somebody who was really going to coach me and really focus on me and really teach me about the business. So I thought, you know, Eduardo's amazing at that, and he's been amazing. Everything I've learned is because of him.
So kudos to you, because I mean,
I was going to say the same thing. Kudos to that team. Kudos to the mentors who have put that kind of scheduling and that kind of structure into your work day, and they've really done a lot, I think, to set you up for success.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was gonna say kudos to you for even having that wisdom. I mean,
too.
Nothing that you said right now had anything to do with the commission split.
No.
Right? And you get that all the time. How did you pick your broker? Oh, well, it's because,
They give you more.
they give me 100%, or,
Yeah.
we're at an 80-20 split, or the cap rate's this much, whatever it is. But you knew, and something that we just talked about with Jason a little while ago, you knew right off the bat that if you structured yourself in a good way, if you created an actual business, the money would come.
Yeah. And I want to be good at what I do,
Yeah.
So I wanted to get the best coaching there was. Yeah. So.
All right. So let me ask you this. I'm going to give you the floor here. But before I give you the floor, I also want to ask you to think about somebody you want to tag to be on the show. Right?
Okay.
Somebody you think that will bring value, that has useful information to, share with our audience and other real estate agents out there. So that's question number one. And then while you're thinking about that, I'm going to have you go ahead and tell everybody, how to contact you, what area you want to be. I'm just going to give you the floor to kind of, tell everybody what it is that you do and how to get in contact with you.
Okay. Well, contacting me.
Point down, you got your phone
Yes,
number right there.
all of my contact information is below.
There you go.
Give me a call, shoot me a text, DM, Messenger, WhatsApp. Just kidding,
What-
no, I don't have that one.
But Instagram and Facebook for sure, right?
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook. I'm the only Jennifer Rossette.
No
one has that last
There's
name.
a lot of
okay?
Jennies,
Very unique.
but yeah, that's true.
Yes. So, yeah, it's very easy to find me.
Sweet. All right. And then who do you want to tag?
Who do I want to tag? Let's see. Drum roll. You know what? I'm going to tag my team leader.
Nice. That's
Can
what I want
bring
to hear.
Some spice.
Yeah.
Eduardo?
Yes.
And what's the last name?
Robles.
Eduardo
Eduardo
Robles. All right, so what we're going to do is when we air this episode, we're going to tag you, and it's your job to put a comment in that and tag him as well.
Yeah.
Let him know that we mentioned him in the show, but don't tell him when.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
So he
tell
has
him
to
it's at the
listen to
end.
the
so he has
whole
to listen,
thing.
yeah. And by the way, he'll be proud of you. You did one hell of a job on this
Thank you,
podcast.
guys.
For sure.
I mean, there's well, like I told Jason, there's diamonds of wisdom in this episode because of what you do. Many agents need to hear that that's the way to success. That's how you're going to make, that's how real
You're on
estate
the
is
right
going to be
path.
awesome for you. Because, it's a sales job and sales suck if you don't make them. And how to do that is just to do exactly what you're doing. Keep to a schedule,
Yeah.
learn to be of service to others, and build powerful relationships.
And make it
Right?
fun.
Nice.
That's fun.
Hashtag powerful relationships.
Hashtag powerful relationships.
Love it.
Because now you're a friend of the Business Bros.
Yeah.
So we got a powerful relationship going on here.
Business bros.
Boom.
We're going to come out
And
with
the business
the
girl.
business woman.
Yeah.
Next.
Business boss lady.
Yeah. Hashtag boss lady.
Hashtag boss lady.
You got boss lady, you got girl boss. Who was it that tagged that the other day? It was
And Jeanette.
And Jeanette.
Oh, yeah. She's all
Yeah.
about woman empowerment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's doing a good job at it too. So
Yeah, she's
I
killing
actually
it too.
had to call out an agent from, he's from? Arizona. His Snapchat, his Instagram video was all guys, right? And it's his team. And I was like, where's the woman at?
Ooh, on the spot, dude. On the spot.
Called out.
All right. Well, again, I want to thank you for being on the podcast, taking time out of your day. Even though we
Thank you,
rescheduled
guys.
that you came
Yes.
out, we're glad you're on the show with us. And
Yes, thank you so much for coming out.
yeah, for sure. And all you listeners out there, if you ever have any questions, you can reach me at hernan@csfirst.com or james@csfirst.com. Follow us on all our social media feeds at Business Bros Pod. And you can catch previous episodes of our podcast at csfirst.com. That's siasfirst.com. That's all we got for you guys today. Peace.
Bye-bye.
And I'm out. Give me some.
Perfect.
And you were nervous.
I know.